takes a long time to put a person back together. A long time in the dark, picking up fragments of what once was whole. Like waking from sleep, you can never be sure what piece might have gone missing in the reconstruction, what might have been lost. But you continue anyway, through hazy cycles of faces and distant voices. This is, after all, not the first time you have had to remake yourself, and you imagine it will not be the last. You're up. Seraphim finds you looking out of the lone window in the rig's berths, a slit that stares out across the shattered edge of Darkside. How long was I out? Seraphim gives you a half grin. Best not think about it. He looks away for a second. Long enough. Suddenly, Seraphim crosses the bunks and embraces you. He squeezes you once and then backs off, hands on both your shoulders. Good to see you up, he smiles, as always. Come on, need to go find Bliss. Seraphim leads you out of the bunks, through the ship, and down the docking tunnel onto Darkside. As you glide through the docks, he recounts what's been happening over these past cycles. You aren't the only one to take a beating. He squeezes through a group of cargo porters carrying crates. Ankita and Karman held out against the Senate ship long enough. They aren't without their share of injuries. They're back on their feet now, though, working together. They managed to quiet down some of the remnants of Utsubo, stop the factional infighting. They're clearing out one of the Utsubo safe houses over in the Rise. I'm sure they could use the help if you need something to do. Mako's come to the station too. He wanted to help with the cleanup after Utsubo fell. He's worked with Ankita. I should go see him, but Seraphim sighs. You feel like he hasn't quite accepted Marco's reappearance. You aren't sure how you'd react to seeing him again either. Oh, and Karman isn't sticking around. He's already left for Oliveira. Seraphim pauses for a second, a memory of that place coming back to him. You watch him shake the thought away. Junie, meanwhile, still digging in all that data she pulled from the bunker. She's down in the HABPEP core, most cycles, trying to make sense of it. Anyway, you'll soon catch up on everything. He smiles sympathetically. Something behind his look, you can't quite place it. The two of you continue on in silence, drifting into the depths of Darkside. Good friends, side by side. Seraphim leads you down into a passage, lined with bright screens and signs, sound and light blasting out of the shop fronts on either side. You know this place, Liquor Row. He stops outside a familiar door, a shop you woke up in all those cycles ago. He gives the door a few quick raps with his knuckles. You wait. Oi, sleeper. He shoots you a glance. When you're ready, we should talk about the future. What comes next? All that. Just give me some time. Yeah, of course. He looks away. Just feels like a few things have changed. Sleeper! Bliss opens the door and immediately jumps to hug you. They let go sheepishly and look between you and Seraphim. First day up. I thought you'd both be celebrating your freedom. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. Seraphim shakes his head. Well, that's more important stuff to talk about. His eyes shoot into the shop beyond. Bliss's voice drops. You sure, Seraphim? They just got up. Can it wait a cycle? Seraphim looks at you. They should know, Bliss. It's important. They nod hesitantly, and then back into the shop, letting you come inside. Little has changed since you were last there. The stacks of servers, the refurbished hardware secured in roof and wall netting, the connectors including the one that facilitated your reboot. Bliss and Seraphim follow behind quietly, and the atmosphere is immediately ominous. I've been keeping an eye on you these past cycles. Bliss hooks their legs onto a stool by a counter, making sure you were stable. Your frame, I'm sure you know, it's been through a lot. And when Overseer pushed Laine out, well, things got more complicated. All those changes Laine made to your system, he did it through your stabilizer. He laced it with proteins meant to alter your frame's basic function, to accept other emulations, other minds, to open you up to remote access. What Overseer did corrected some of that, or at least wiped from your system, but the stress involved, and the damage from your last partial reboot? Bliss falls silent, unable to answer their own questions. We need to finish the reboot, Sleeper. The one Laine interrupted. Seraphim can always be relied on to tell you things straight. Not immediately, Bliss cuts in, but at some point soon. I'm not quite ready, but now that you're up, Bliss looks down. I'll get to work. Is it dangerous? Bliss takes a deep breath. Look, I'll be honest, Sleeper. I know we need to finish the reboot Laine interrupted. I am sure of it. But the effects? They shake their head. Your frame was complex to begin with, but after everything, the reaction could be bad. We can talk more about it when I have the... Bliss stops suddenly, their eyes shooting to the door. Sorry, am I... Flint floats in the doorway. They look at you, wide-eyed. You're up. A smile crosses their face, though it quickly fades. Good to see you. Really good. And you? Flint nods and silence falls on the group. Flint has become my patient, too. Bliss clasps their hands nervously together. We've been able to acquire some stabilizer from Laine's stores, which has helped. We don't have much of a supply. Bliss is going to reboot me, like you were. Flint cuts in. I won't need stabilizer anymore. They sound almost excited at the prospect. You look to Bliss. Flint knows the risk, but they've asked for the procedure. They give Flint a warning look. Still, they shouldn't underestimate the danger. Bliss looks at Flint. Sleeper will also need the reboot, but they don't have a choice in the matter. It is essential. Flint goes quiet. Bliss and Seraphim look nervously at you to see your reaction to all this. You feel like a spotlight is being shone in your face. All you want is some time alone to think. We should do it together, Flint speaks quietly. Whatever we risk it together. They meet your eye. I owe you that and more. Let's pick this up again in the future. Bliss tries to calm the tension. I still need many cycles to prepare, especially if I am to reboot you both simultaneously. It'll be your choice, Sleeper. You decide when. They reach out and lay a hand on yours. But without this, you will soon begin a decline. Sorry for that. Your head spins. Seraphim slaps a button to open the door. Come on, Sleeper. Let's get some air. You follow him outside. When you get there, all you can think is that you can't breathe. You don't need to breathe. A wave of claustrophobia passes over you. You're in control of this, Sleeper. Seraphim stares at the lights and signs of flicker row, looping endlessly. You put what you need in order, I'll be right there with you. I got Bliss teach me a little about the repairs they've been doing for you. Seraphim rubs his hands together. I know it's getting worse. I'll do my best to keep you running. You let me know when you want to leave. I'll fly out of this place faster than you can believe. He turns to face you. We can go wherever you need. He frowns. There's time for us yet. Thank you, Seraphim. You never need to thank me, Sleeper. He pats her on the shoulder. Just look after yourself. I was also thinking. Seraphim looks away. I got a message from Olivera. They're still getting a place together. But with Karman heading back, the colony is starting a new chapter. Maybe we should head out there at some point. Lend a hand? He pauses, unwilling to push it further. Just a thought. Anyway, just give the word. Seraphim smiles. We're all glad you're back. He turns and drifts away, leaving you among the cycling colors and cacophonous sounds of Flicker Row. You close your eyes and let them wash over you like a wave. There in the dark of your mind you search for Overseer, but the protocol does not appear. You wonder if, in that final moment, Overseer might have destroyed themselves to end Laine. But then you feel it, flickering nearby, a signal in the dark. You open your eyes and see something pass through the screens of Flicker Row, a shadow in all the brightness. Could Overseer still be here, in the ancient networks of the HABPEP? You turn away and glide out of the row. You have other things to worry about now. How you doing? Cadet finds you in a Darkside thoroughfare, a glass-roofed canyon of struts and screens. Not great. Cadet nods. I'm sorry to hear that. She looks around. We've made it here, at least. She gestures around at the broad street with its layers of tech and dirt. Heart of the belt. You look, really look, at the glass-roofed street. Its walls are built from scaffold and shipping containers, hull plates and Solheim HAB units. People glide across the open space to units and shops on either side, and everywhere screens flicker and glare without sense and reason. You can feel the heat, the power that flows through this place, collected by the vast solar cells that form the city's foundations. Heart is the right word. This place is a center of circulation, toned muscle tough, and running to a beat. You turn to Cadet and can see it in her eyes. She loves being here. I've been thinking, she glances away, of how good it would feel to run my airbag down this street. She smiles. City doesn't need couriers, right? And that's a good idea. I know. She flexes her shoulders back. But there's some unfinished business weighing me down. She meets your eye. Export. You think of the drive tucked away in the scatter yards. The one that contains a data stream from a drone mine vivisection. The one that might have caused the loss of an entire station. We need to finish what we started. Cadet looks deadly serious. Find who is responsible, make it known. Clear my name. Is Hexport still irradiated? I think so, she sighs. But it'll be fading. We can get in and out safely from what I know. You better try soon. The safer it gets, the more scavengers will come to pick the bones. We want there to be something left to tell the story. I know a lot just went down. Cadet puts a hand on her hip. But these clowns could still be operating. Hell, they could be trying the same thing again on this station. Need to go find what they did. She takes a deep breath. I'll be waiting. And maybe, once it's all done, he turns away. I'll take the first airbag ride through this place. She raises a hand and then is gone. Alright, well, first off, I need to repair myself. Now I'll do it again. Seraphim has been trained by Bliss to make repairs. The workshop is empty and dark. Seraphim can only repair fully broken parts, and not while on a contract. Hey, if it works out, it works out. Darkside exchange. Massive fuel tanks feed the huge demand for propellant on Darkside. The system here is efficient, but isn't the cheapest you'll find in the belt. That's fine. The exchange is used to supplying crews with the best. They source from all over Darkside, and few other stations can compete with their variety. That's that done. Kentis Corner. HABPEP facility. Junie studies. Junie has gone straight to the HABPEP core, and is asked not to be disturbed. What is she doing down there? Scrapper market. Process raw scrap. Okay, so another place I can process raw scrap into, like, plating. Kentis Corner. Nice place to buy a meal. Kentis Corner is a tiny booth built into a cramped alley selling the best tempura on Darkside, or at least so Seraphim claims. I mean, hey, you can't say no to tempura. That'd be good. The safe house stretches deep into the block and beyond. Utsubo had many secrets, and this is the time to reveal them. Utsubo collapsed while you were recovering. Its members and enforcers are still on Darkside. You know, we'll give it a shot. No harm in it. You uncover a concealed stack of slates in a hidden compartment. What is on these? Okay, I'm losing energy. New location. What's the new location discovered? I don't see a new location. Alright, well, we're here. Might as well go out to the Hexport remains and just see what we can find. The drive that ruined Cadet's life points to dark drone mine experiments of Hexport. Only answer will be found in the remains of the station. Confirm. We gotta take Cadet. Guess we'll take Femi on this one. Like, the endure skill is probably going to be useful. Or I could take... No, I'll take Flint. I'm taking Flint on any contracts yet. Come on, Flint. As the rig drew closer to Hexport, the crew became silent. Now, staring out at what is left of what was once a thriving station, you feel empty. The full extent of the damage is impossible to ignore. Ram, Seraphim shakes his head. Doesn't feel like we were here that long ago. He sighs. And now this is what's left. You look at the clouds of scattered debris, the layers of the station torn open to the void. It's a reminder of how close the war and the unseen atrocities of the inner system are to shifting into the belt. I don't like digging around a place like this. Seraphim turns to you. Let's be quick about it. I mean, agreed. Be fast. Seraphim nods. Well, I'm here if you need me. Head to the airlock to suit up and get ready. You ready for this? Cadet catches up with you in the passageway. This place already giving me the creeps. I'm ready. Cadet nods. If there are answers to be found, we'll find them. Keep your eyes on the shadows. Flint is getting suited up by the airlock. We can't rule out scavengers and grave robbers. They won't react well to visitors. Cadet takes a suit from the locker. Seraphim said the radiation is lower than expected, still too high for prolonged exposure. The suit should keep most of it off us, but we can't take long out there. Stressing the suits and the rig? She sighs. Forced to leave in 3 cycles. Cadet grabs a helmet. Not a moment more. You get ready, too, your mind filled with memories of Hexport. You hope they will help you navigate this shattered ruin. Looking at what's left, you doubt it. Alright. So, Ruined Exchange. That's just first place we gotta go. I like how this is Cadet's mission, and we're forced to take her, but the first thing is just, like, not things she's good at all. Starting with a forensic search. Understanding what happened on Hexport means searching through the ruined station and piecing together the story. So I guess we're just gonna have Flint hunt for data. Parts of the shattered station's network are active, driven by the fractured solar cells. Perhaps they hold some clues. Alright, let's go, Flint. An active network node in the central hub is still alive, with connections deep into the station. Follow that node. Alright, that worked out well. Now it's my turn. You find most network nodes have final bit of traffic, a strange broadcast. What is that? Alright, so with that done, I'm going to search the ruins now with my other dice. Most of Hexport has been ripped apart, exploring what would be dangerous work, but how else to discover what happened. It seems that the station was ripped apart by multiple explosions. How is this possible? Alright, do it again. There's something hissing on the open comm channel. What is that? You hear that, Sleeper? Cadet stops among the debris, just outside the ruined exchange. The search so far has been thankless, a grim slog through endless debris. You are glad of the break. You stop, floating in the dark, and listen. There is a hissing on the open comm channel, a hissing you've grown used to. Now that you listen to it again, though, you notice something else in the noise. There's something different to it now. A texture, a modulation of tone. Is that a voice? Cadet cuts in. Someone is speaking. Her eyes look wide through the faceplate of her suit. You listen carefully, and yes, perhaps there is a voice there, though it is quiet and distant. It could be a person speaking, or it could be some residual signal from an automated system, one that is slowly dying in this wasteland. You see Cadet moving around, testing the signal strength from different positions. It's come from the direction of the docks. Her voice hisses through the comms, layering over the broadcast. A survivor? Cadet meets your eyes, both of you hoping this might be true. Probably just a comms echo. Seraphim's voice cuts in over the comms. can't go chasing ghosts, not with so little time left. The rig can't sit out here getting cooked by radiation, and neither can you. Seraphine's voice distorts and shifts. We moved to the epicenter, where Factory Row used to be. That's where this all went down. Cadet looks at you, and you know she wants to chase a signal to the docks. She wants there to be someone there, calling out to you. You look over towards the remains of Factory Row. The epicenter, as Seraphine called it, is now a cloud of debris and fragments of bays, a shadow of what it once was. For the first time in a long while, you think of Karsten. You look back at the remains of the docks, a few warning lights and systems still flickering away in the ruins. With not much time left here, you have a choice about where to focus your efforts. Hey, we got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Okay. So Cadet has the ability to navigate this pretty well. That's good to know. I'm going to need to trace this broadcast, so let's push it. Dark trails. That ghostly broadcast came from the docks. Someone hiding out here? That broadcast must have a source. By tracing the hardware it used, it might be possible to locate it. The broadcast definitely came from within the docks. Search area gets narrower with each scan. Do it again. At least 4 more of those. Alright, Cadet, give it a try to navigate this place. Blast analysis. Factory Row was obliterated in the blast. What was the cause and type of explosion? The debris itself is the most useful clue here, and searching through it might yield results. Okay. We don't do that. We really, really do not do that. End cycle. Cadet, you're really hurting me here, Cadet. Alright, Flint, get to work on tracing that broadcast. Do it again. The broadcast seems to have run through dozens of bits of hardware. Who is doing this? Okay. Do it again. Right, I can just finish this now with 2 of these. That hissing on the open comms channel again. The survivor be close? Urgent, the broadcast echoes through your comms. Retrieval required. Conway network agents, please respond. You float beside Cadet, the 2 of you shocked to silence by the sight in front of you. Both of you have traced the ghost signal deep into the docks, all the time wondering if it might be the voice of a survivor. You've not prepared yourself for this. In a corner of the docks, there is a nest of machines. A gathering of drones and motorized sleds, crane systems and docking clamps. A nest for the drone mind. Stop, please. The voice shimmers with distortion, relayed on the same carrier signal as the ghost broadcast. We wish to be recovered. You don't know the mechanics of what you are looking at, but you understand it. The drone mind fled here, but how? You exchange a look with Cadet, as she seems unsure of what to do. You switch your comms channel to the broadcast signal. What happened here? Unverified access, unable to resist, requesting recovery. The drone mind's voice trembles with glitches. Confirm Conway extraction's role and identity. You wonder what this mind knows. Is it just an interface, designed to speak between humans and drones with the recognizable cadence of intelligent speech? Or is it a thinking machine? You hear a click as Cadet switches to a private channel. This thing is a weapon. Voice is flat, unemotional. Should be careful we say here. Confirm Conway extraction's role and identity. Drone mind intones. Please. I'm just gonna lie to the drone. You make up a designation that sounds plausible. Cadet turns to you and raises an eyebrow. Confirming with central control. The nest shudders. Confirmation impossible. Connection severed. Retrying. Look! Cadet hisses through the private channel. It's hardwired to the station. You look where she is nodding and see a single thick power cable snaking from an industrial wall outlet. The nest is clustered around the other end, huddling close to the fading power supply of the station, against the dying embers of a fire. Urgent, the broadcast starts again. Retrieval required. Conway network agents, please respond. Cadet moves forward a little. I order you to deliver a report on your current status. A direct report from Conway Control. Turns back to you and shrugs. It's worth a shot. Confirmation impossible. Connection severed. The nest fades, then flickers back to life. Temporary bypass activated. Cognitive function minimal. Power supply minimal. Hardware suboptimal configuration. No drone units connected. I am alone. The shift between communication registers, between formal and human, is unsettling. Code center compromised. Data extracted by third party. Self-destruct disabled. Purge protocol disabled. Parts of the nest fall away, the power draining fast as the drone mine attempts to draw more from the station. Please, the drone mine asks nonsensically. Please stop. Did you destroy the station? Cadet moves close now, bearing down on the nest. Little more than a pile of broken machines, cowering a corner as the power fades. Self-destruct attempted. Process failed. Hardware purge attempted. Process failed. Self-preservation protocol activated. Propagated through station network. Station failed. Central failure imminent. Please stop. The machine in the nest begins to go dark. Please stop. Please stop. Cadet turns back to face you. It didn't do this, she sighs. It tried though. Tried to destroy itself, take the station with it. She turns back to look at the failing mine, hiding in machines it was not built to inhabit. It escaped the network and ended up here. It isn't responsible, Cadet. Responsible or not, that's enough. Cadet reaches over and rips the power cable from the wall, leaving it floating. The nest shuts off, the broadcast channel going silent. The bay goes dark. What was left of the drone mine, whatever protocol or data escaped in these machines and their network, is gone now. There's no hardware left to hold it. Come on. Cadet glides out of the room, leaving you among the dead machines. Well, that's all we can do. We still have work to do. Alright, let's just navigate the debris. The debris here is only from Hexport. No other ships were caught in the blast. I'm hoping one of these three will roll a 1. If they break, I can fix them. Finally. I'd really like to fix them. Oh. You feel it the moment you wake. A flicker at the edge of your perception. A sensation beyond your body. Blinking. A tugging. And then numbness as something shuts off within you. The panic is instant. The feeling of something not being right within you spiking your fear. But no pain comes. You feel no further shifts. And as time stretches out, you settle again. Calm yourself. You know immediately this is what Bliss was referring to. Your frame's decline. The one the reboot should reverse. You flex a little. Feel your body. Try to ground yourself in it. It will not collapse this cycle, but something has changed. This is how it will be until the reboot. You hope you have long enough to finish what you must. You begin the cycle slowly, holding the piece of yourself together. Try not to let your thoughts wander to darker things, and fix your eyes on the tasks ahead. The belt drifts past the window, following a flow of its own, expanding, collapsing, shifting in its own way. People say it is drifting away, getting further from Hellion Star, that one day it will drift out of the system altogether, into interstellar space. You find a strange solace in that. Somehow, knowing that entropy is the way of the universe makes your own decline palatable, at least for a little longer. Cadet, you're really busting my balls, like so bad. Alright, this is pretty much just on me and Flint. And Flint has negatives to both of these, my god. Alright. Flint, help me with navigating the debris. The debris is thick and sharp, making navigation dangerous. Does scrap really tell you what happened here? Right, map the explosion, please. God damn you both. Alright, Cadet. You know what? Fuck it. Cadet, do the thing you're good at. Please. One of you has to be good at something here. I'm docking both of your pay. On the debris there are dark black shards, easily recognizable as pieces of Conway drone hull. Alright, do it again. Oh god. We're banking on this. There is a 20% chance of success. If we fail this, we fail this mission. Roll it. The debris is thick and sharp, making navigation dangerous. Oh my god. It just looks my fucking stress. If I roll a 4 or lower, I'm gonna break a dice. My god. The most stressed I think I've been in this game. That's it. Seraphim comes to the bunks. We're leaving now. It's someone else's grave, not mine. He turns and heads to the cockpit. Seraphim's right. The risk is too high. We leave now. Flint gets up and heads to the cockpit. There's nothing left to say. The radiation is too great a risk to stay here any longer. Your time is up. You take a moment to look out across the remains of Hexport. Countless lives changed by the actions of a few. You won't be sad to see the back of this place. What limited answers you have found here do little to reassure you that this will not happen again. You close your eyes, knowing that you will never wipe the image of a shattered Hexport from your mind. But for now, you must turn and face the future. Time to go. Yeah, I can't even sneak out and do one last thing. You can now travel back to the hub. Once you leave, you will not be able to return. Yep, that's fine. Let's get the fuck out of here. Junie knocks gently on the frame of the berth's doorway. Sleeper, can I show you something? There's an excitement in her eyes that makes it impossible to say no. Junie talks most of the way down to the HABPEP facility, which is no short journey. She explains the scale of the data hidden within the station's mainframe, also the issues with extracting it. When the HABPEP was first built and first expanded, when it became Darkside, after the collapse, no one gave much thought to preserving the existing network architecture. She guides you through the substructure, taking a route through the maze of shuttered passages. They parasited their tech directly into the existing system, so now, thousands of cycles later, the two networks are totally enmeshed, dependent on each other. Junie takes a series of sudden turns. You realize this is a very familiar route to her now. Messing with the Solheim network means messing with the systems that keep the city going. She leads you down a long corridor, and you recognize it leading directly to the core. I'll just let her explain. This meshing is not a good thing. She shakes her head. It makes Darkside brittle, or fragile even. This place is on more of a nice edge than anyone would believe. You look around. Certainly, the underside you are now traveling through looks cycles away from collapse. But all the data we've been extracting that I've been archiving, Junie continues. It could help us here. It could help us clean up the HABPEP systems. And we could turn this place to an archive that others could come to learn more about the ruins Solheim left us. Isn't that dangerous? Oh, I completely forgot about a cup of tea that I had. Yeah, that is freezing cold. Man. No more tea for me. If I was directly cutting into the station's network, yes, it would be, Junie sighs. Though I'm not. Even if I was, it's too much for me to process or understand. Thanks to our visit to the bunker, I have a plan, and something that will help me. You arrive at the doors to the mainframe, and Junie suddenly stops. I spoke to Bliss. They told me... She pauses. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you have a lot to deal with right now. I'm fine, he said, like a liar. Junie looks a little confused. Okay, she nods. That's good to hear. Junie hits a button, and the doors hiss open. You both glide into the mainframe. Its columns studded with the blinking lights of active traffic. I got the idea from you, actually. Well, from you and Overseer. Junie glides over to the mainframe. You look into the mainframe, and you see now that it is surrounded by new terminals and wiring. Some kind of external access network Junie has set up. I had to beg, borrow, and steal to get this going, but now we have safe access into the network. It's low risk. She moves over to one of the terminals. It's not quite finished, though. You recall the last time you were here. Laine, Overseer, the spear of white light, and then nothing. You wonder where Overseer is now, if they are anywhere at all. You remember how it felt, being dissolved into the network. The vertiginous possibility of life without a body. Something flickers through the lights, a shimmer of movement, like a fish beneath water. Sleeper, Junie breaks her train of thought. Are you listening? I was saying I need more data to finish preparing, she shrugs. I know, we've already extracted so much. Often so little of it that's usable among the bit rot and corruption. More data? Really? Junie sighs. What do you want me to say? It shouldn't take long. One trip to Hellion Gate is all I'm asking. If it's too much for your reboot, I get it. I just want to do something with everything we managed to grab from that bunker and the wrecks. We pulled it from the dark. Let's expose it to the light. Junie turns back to face you. Well, this is what I wanted to show you. She looks away. It's very impressive. It will be when it's finished, she smiles. Thank you. Junie turns back to the terminal. Before long, she is fully engrossed. You imagine she barely even remembers you are here. You leave Junie to her preparations, and start your ascent to the streets of Darkside, thoughts of Overseer flickering in the back of your mind. There's not much to celebrate in return from the remains of Hexport. You are glad to be back here all the same. There is something surprising in that. Darkside is a haven, not a prison. A slowly occurring idea of this overgrown city as a home. As you have seen in Hexport, stability cannot be taken for granted, not anywhere in the belt. But Darkside has a solidity in life that feels like it might endure. Cadet catches up with you. We need to talk. She looks around, but not here. Come, that's something I want to show you. Cadet leads you deep into the heart of Darkside, through quiet corridors and bustling streets, on paths you didn't know existed. As you glide after her, the station seems to grow in your mind, its possibilities multiplied by the routes that pass through it. Just through here, Cadet leads you across a covered bridge, the view on either side looking down caverns of lit units. This close to the center of Darkside, the air is warm, and the passages are quiet. Here, Cadet smiles. This is the place. She points at a low and wide entrance, with storage racks inside. Next door is a smaller unit, with a window looking out to the passage. It seems like a workshop, perhaps abandoned or never finished. It is dusty and dark. I've been keeping an eye on it. It's abandoned. She glides inside and slaps a wall pad. Light flickers on, illuminating a constellation of dust. She floats in the glittering specks. Why bring me here? When we've been on Darkside, I've been coming out here. I just happened across it, but I knew when I found it. I want to start again, Sleeper. She knocks on a metal wall, and this is where I'm going to make that start. What we saw in Hexport, what's left of it, just confirmed it to me. We can't stop these people. We can't stop the war. She runs a finger along the storage racks. We have what? The drive? Our suspicions? Who can we pin this to? She looks over the workshop. I don't want to think about it anymore. I want to start again. I want to work. To ride my bike and courier packages till I fall in my bed at the end of the day with nothing left. Cadet picks up an old corroded tool from the racks. I want to build something here in spite of everything. In spite of the fact they could take it all away. Because that's the point. To go on living without conceding. To go on building or trying to build something where we can find it. That's what I brought you here to understand. So you know why I'm letting this all go. I understand, Cadet. You could do the same, you know? Cadet frowns. We don't have to beat ourselves senseless against the truth. My old life is gone. Clearing my name on the far spindle doesn't matter. Spindlejacks will have forgotten me. But this place? Cadet smiles. It doesn't know me at all. You know where the drive is, what it contains. You know what happened at Hexport. Cadet's eyes shine in the workshop lights. Take it from me. It's yours now. I can't carry this anymore. I will. She nods. Thank you. My travels are over. You need to find me, I'll be here. Cadet smiles. Thank you for all you've done. I hope you can understand why I need to do this. She turns and disappears deeper into the workshop. You cross the bridge again. Darkside glowing on all sides. You think of the drive, buried deep in some compartment within the Scatteryard's hub, filled with data worth destroying a station over. It is yours now. But you wonder as you cross back through the city, your mind racing. How can all this end well? That's the thing. It absolutely will not. However, we just keep fixing ourselves one component at a time. Trudging ever on forward. Alright, let's take a day and just try and recover some stress. There we go. De-stressed. We still have this. My dice are really bad on it, but... Oh, you find blocks of shimmer concealed behind a false wall. Utsubo was trading this on the open market. Shimmer? I'm guessing that's space cocaine? You get lost in the unlit passages in the lower layers of the safe house. How big is this place? Pretty damn big, I bet. Pretty damn big. Alright. I guess we're gonna go... We're gonna take a trip into space. So we need data from Hellion Gate. We need to pick up the drive from the scatter yards. And we need to go to the Hollow. No, not the Hollow. We go down to Olivetta to help with them. Well, Hellion Gate seems to be the closest. We'll go there. We need to collect some data for Junie. I think we need 5. Well, it's been in touch, Sleepa. Seraphim turns and looks over his shoulder. As soon as you enter the cockpit, he is sitting in the pilot's seat, running diagnostics on the console. They say they're ready for the reboot. Did they say anything else? You know, Bliss. Seraphim rolls his eyes a little. They worry. He turns fully in his seat. How are you feeling? Not bad. I know the reboot needs to happen. Seraphim speaks slowly, carefully. I know the risks. I can see all that. I also know what happened last time. He pauses. I don't want you to forget again. To lose all this. He gestures around the cockpit. Everything we've done. You'll still have it all. But I'll be alone with it. Seraphim looks down. It's not what I want. I'm not trying to scare you. I just needed to say that. If the reboot doesn't go how we want, I'll miss you. I'll miss all this. I will too, Seraphim. If you remember, Seraphim laughs shakily at his own joke. He turns back to his pilot console. Whenever you're ready, we can go to Flicker Row, to Bliss. Seraphim pokes at the console in front of him. You have things you want to wrap up first, I understand. I would too. Here, Seraphim tosses an object across the cockpit, and you catch it out of the air. Take that with you. You go to Bliss. It's good luck. You open your hand and see a familiar metal disc, a coin, engraving rubbed away to little more than vague shapes and signs. Tyler gave it to me. Now it's yours. You can't run from this forever, alright? He glances over his shoulder and smiles. We've done enough running anyway. He turns back to the console and returns to the diagnostics. You leave the cockpit and run a hand along the ribbed metal wall of the passage outside. Is it really possible that you could forget all this? All these layers of memory, of experience? Perhaps you can put it off a little longer. Take another tour around the belt. Tie up loose ends. Perhaps you had enough of that. Why try to escape the inevitable? You try to recall how it felt when you awoke after Laine interrupted the first reboot. Even that is fading into a hazy memory, told by an unreliable narrator. Maybe this is just the next step then. One of thousands that put you here. The first of the thousands more that will take you onward. You come out of your thoughts, still unsure, still aware the decision of when to take that step ultimately rests with you. So we are very much reaching towards the end game, but we still have a bit of time. I still have things I want to get done. Namely, we gotta get some data for Junie. With how long she's been with us, might as well. The gate's networks collapsed long ago. There's data to be found in the old terminals. Find a terminal that can be jump-started and the contents extracted. I'm pretty sure I only need 5 for this. I'm just gonna pull everything I can out of it. I have energy loss, but that's fine. Alright, back to Darkside. Alright, back to the safe house. Let's just see what we can get. Actually, let's go to Kenta's. See how good this tempura is. Tiny booth built into a cramped alley, selling the best tempura on Darkside, according to Seraphim. Make the purchase. Alright, good tempura. I don't think I ever actually had tempura. But it would be tasty. More work on cleaning house. And I'm not gonna use the glitch dice. That's probably just gonna make me hungry. Oh, we needed 6. Good thing I went for that extra one. Junie needs one final batch of Solheim data to complete her work on the mainframe and lay the foundations for her archive. Get it done. Junie is thankful for the data. I have everything prepared. Just give me a moment. You've been waiting for what feels like a long time. Junie insists that you can't help, so you find yourself floating in the baking heat of the HABPEP mainframe, while she taps away at her terminal. As you do, you can't help but shake the feeling of a presence nearby, one that you are coming to understand as some remnant of Overseer. You don't know if Overseer was ever really a person, but now, with their many selves combined and dispersed, their consciousness expanding to fill the vast space of the HABPEP and its networks, they surely aren't even close to human anymore. You think of them as a ghost, but perhaps now they are better understood as something less mournful, as a system, a process, a thing becoming. The entire station is their body. You can't help but wonder how that feels. And we are ready. Junie gets a key on her terminal with percussive force. It'll take a little while, but she'll be online in a few moments. She looks flush with excitement. I thought this was an archive. Weren't you listening last time? Junie squints at you. Don't tell me you drifted off. I was thinking about Overseer. Junie shakes her head. And you don't know. She suddenly looks concerned. A voice screeches out of the terminals. It descends in pitch, from a squeal to speaking. Then, Below the mainframe, a flickering projection appears, first as lines and then as solid light. Welcome, visitors. Warden flickers and warps. I am the Warden. Please provide. The image jerks and freezes, then blinks out. Shit. Junie taps at her terminal. Just need to reconfigure her for the HABPEP environment. How is this possible? I found her, or at least an iteration of her, what we took from the bunker. Don't worry, Junie glances over her shoulder. I've taken precautions. She can't hurt us. The technician is right. Warden's clipped voice echoes through the cavernous mainframe bay. My protocol is operating under safe mode limitations. Warden's blind eyes stare out over your head. Do not be concerned, Officer Dahl. Sorry, I'll fix that. Why the Warden? Archiving was her role in the bunker. She's ideally suited to this, and she understands Solheim networks better than we ever could. Junie smiles. Come on, you have to admit this is pretty cool. You look at the statuesque figure of Warden, once at the heart of Solheim's intelligence-gathering operations across the belt. Such a tool of corporate oversight ever be used for something good? Look, watch this. Junie turns to Warden. Warden, provide the last known location of every Solheim vessel above Rager class in the Starward belt. Immediately, Technician. Warden draws a circle with a pointed finger, and it expands, filling with bright specks. At first, hundreds and then thousands. A constellation of sights. See? Junie grins. This is our future, built on the foundation of our past. These tools are ours now. You look at the arc of specks, the points of light describing the shape of a long-dead corporation's power. This is incredible. It is. People need to know what this city, this system is built on. Warden can do that, expose that. It's up to us to reshape the ruins into something new. I knew when I saw her that I couldn't leave her there, alone in the dark. I've been in that dark pit, and I won't condemn another being to it. Junie looks at the placid Warden. Human or not, how we treat her is a test of our own values, of the world we project. Data is not a currency, it is not a commodity. It is the immaterial output of a system, a structure, a society. Junie meets your eye. This will be a place to uncover that system for ourselves. She looks around at the chaotic, trailing wires and the floating terminals. Once I've cleared it up a bit, she laughs. You and Junie spend a little longer in the mainframe, sorting cables and offering Warden casual queries. Not all of them return useful information, and Junie begins listing out the changes she will need to make. After a while, you both find yourself tiring, heads aching with all the fresh information you have crammed into them. So you close at the core and ascend back through the layers of the facility to Darkside's surface. As you do, feel the history of each strata, the layers that make up this place, and the belt beyond. Now, more than ever, it feels tangible to you, as if it contains not only the past, but the promise of the future as well. You have a lot of upgrade points. I'm gonna up my engineer. Alright, well, back out to the belt we go. I need to remember to actually restock my ship before I do that. Refuel the tanks. Oh, we don't need new supplies, actually. That's wonderful. So, let's go to the scatter yards. The workshop of Cadet's data scraper friend is just as the two of you left it. You remember the cycles you and Cadet spent in here, poring over the dark data, the strange fragments of the drone mine's protest seated among the cold code. Find the drive where Cadet told you it would be, in a compartment under the padding of a bunk lined with thick shielding that makes its contents undetectable. As you pull the drive out, the metal cold on your hands, a sudden urge to smash it to pieces. This object which escaped Hexport when so many others didn't. Someone, somewhere, wanted the data on this so badly, it would spend any number of lives to get it. But something went wrong. Some miscommunication or mistake. That's all it was. Tiny slip and it all fell apart. Now the drive is in your hands instead. You turn it over in your hands. You know the drive contains Conway access codes, control codes, perhaps more besides. Data of great value. Data that would win a war. You also know you are sick of thinking about it. All best we can do is to take that drive for now. You slip the drive into a pocket and close up the workshop. You head back to the rig, and as you do, you turn the drive over in your pocket, unsure what the next step might be. As you glide through the hub, you pass shipfitters and crews, all moving on their own vectors. It feels strange to carry the drive past these people, all of them totally unaware of the threat it might pose to them, to this station. Excuse me? A stranger stops you in the passageway, with a hand on your shoulder. Can I ask for your help with something? Their sudden appearance shakes you out of your thoughts. You quickly take your hand out of your pocket, off the drive. You look at the stranger in front of you. He is roughly dressed in a heavy coat. He is otherwise unremarkable. You could have passed him many times before and not have known. I'm looking for something. He looks over his glasses at you. A little lost drive. Who are you, other than a friend that we haven't met, apparently? This matter concerns my client more than me. He leans back a little, his voice calm, so introductions won't be necessary. But the drive belongs to my client, and he will be very happy to see it returned. Suddenly, something catches your eye. A set of dice. Those used to play Star and Stoker. The stranger is playing with them in one hand, turning them end over end in the station's microgravity. What makes you think I have it? My search for the drive brought me to the scatter yards, but from here the trail went cold. That was until you arrived. He pushed his glasses up his face, and the trail lit back up again, just like that. The stranger moves his hand in his jacket pocket a little, and you see a shape in there, a box-like impression in the fabric. My client never intended these events, you must understand. One of their other contractors proved to be overzealous in an attempt to conceal their mistakes. The result was the critical situation you saw in Hexport. But for all that to be for nothing, that be a waste beyond the original act. Piling insult on injury, the stranger sighs. There is much to be gained in a system desperate for peace, for the war to be ended, and wars tend to end when one side concedes. The drive will win the war. The stranger laughs. My client will greatly benefit from its retrieval. Any more is hard to judge without seeing the provenance of the data. Only a few possible futures remain for the belts. My client will facilitate one of the better ones. That is why I am here. Need additional persuasion? I am authorized to offer you 300 cryo as a reflection of your efforts. The stranger smiles again, his tone never straying from its business-like calm. Now, can you return my client's drive? The stranger's hand shifts in his jacket pocket. You have the feeling this is not a choice you can deny. You can't deny it. Don't need to make it, though. You grip the drive in your pocket so hard the casing starts to crack. You see the stranger's eyes flash a warning. You dash the drive against the metal wall of the passageway, splintering into 1,000 shards that pepper the two of you with cuts and scratches. The stranger shakes his head. A regrettable decision. You hold yourself ready, expecting a retaliation, but it does not come. The stranger simply turns and clunks away down the passage, not willing to waste another word on you. Your transaction is complete. Head back to the rig, and as you do, a wait lists with each corridor, each junction. As you board the transit shuttle that will take you to Marco's yard, back to the rig, think of Hexport and what is left of that place. You will never forget what happened to the station, but you will not let it steer your future. Cadet refused to be sucked into that web of secrets, and now you refuse too. There will be no account of Senatsad's crimes. There will be no reckoning. There will be a life outside of the future they want for the Belt. You know it.